Hello, Judy here from Thistledew Creations, back with Christmas gift bag decorating. And I just did this one with you a few minutes ago. Stopped the video because we're almost to an hour. And so I thought we would do the little book card that I want to put in the pocket here. So I've made a pocket that has a bit of space so we can make a little book out of this gift tag that I got. I'm trying to remember, yeah, it would be from Dollarama. I got these, they were in a recent haul. So this has a popped up word believe in the magic of Christmas on a wood grain background, and you've got the Star of Bethlehem, which is perfect for O Little Town of Bethlehem, which is what's the music on the backs in the background of the bag. So I thought I'd make a little card, and it's actually going to be a little book. So I'm just working on here, figuring out what size this needs to be cut to. And then from there, we'll figure out what size the pages need to be as well. And I'm going to use tea-dyed paper for it. I found a bunch of tea-dyed that was nice and light. So I'm just pulling out my cutting and scoring board. I'll just mark it here. I want to give a little border. So here and here, if you can see that. So I'm going to end up about here and about here. Not really measuring, just giving myself a border. And then I'll just make sure that's up tight. Line it up with this line. Run that blade through. I was all concerned because I couldn't find any more of the brown cardstock that the Dollarama had, and it was this color. And then I realized I have piles and piles of file folders that I can be using up, so it's more in the spirit of the craft to use something like that anyway, so not to worry. I'm gonna have to add some of that to my stockpile of stuff to take to my dad's. I think I'm gonna do just some basic collaging and stuff when I'm there. I don't know how much I'll be able to concentrate on doing big projects or making videos, so he's getting his knee replaced the 22nd, next Friday. So I'm going to stay with him for at least a week to make sure he's all good. Need a little bit of TLC. So I'm not going to do much to this cover. I'm just going to center this up. I might clip these corners because I'd like the book to be interesting and have some shape. So I might clip the corners off. And then I'll do my pages the same and just bind it here. So I'm just going to use the tacky glue to put it down. I'm still working on my hot chocolate with my marshmallows in it. Needs a good stir before I have a sip. And yeah, I do want to ink that. And I think I'll take this off, this ribbon, and find a way to fill that hole. Maybe a little bit of trim or something. This isn't really, this is kind of just turning it yellow. So I might get the darker one and just see if it changes it to a more brown tone. This is kind of glossy, this cardstock. I think it'll do fine on this. I'll go ahead and ink some. I know we're going to cut it, but yeah, it looks good on there. Get the ground espresso here. See, it doesn't look too bad. I think my ground espresso is pretty dry, actually. I've got an inker on the way, a re-inker. I'll check that and see when it's coming. Ordered it from Amazon. because I'm going to be in Peterborough tomorrow where there's a Michael's. I could get some if it's not going to come for a while. I'll use that color a bit. I had my settings set to only show me prime shipping items, but it's taken over a week now. And it still hasn't arrived. So I'm just putting this around the outside edge. And I'm not making a pocket or anything. It's just a little notebook, Christmas card combo. I'm just kind of evening up my borders, top and bottom and side to side. I'll just press that down for a bit. Won't take it long. It's got pretty good contact, nice and flat. So I'm going to go ahead right away and trim it. Approximately the same distance on these angles as it is top and bottom and side to side. There, that's cute. I was saving these to make flowers, but I'm not going to save them today. I'm going to give this a really good inking. Trying to think what I should do with that hole. I could put string through to hold the book closed, but I don't think I want to do that. It's already got a star right below it, so I can't really make it a star. Well, I could if I put a few more. Do the back side as well. This is an easy craft with something that's basically already pre-made from the dollar store. And that's what I mentioned in my haul video, is that this will make Christmas crafting easy. I don't have to think so much about the basic design. And it looks very kind of official to the recipient. But it might give me ideas for another one that I would make from scratch. Now, see, now I've got a little bit of the file folder writing there, but I'm not worried about that. Quite happy with that. And then my tea-dyed paper. It's not quite wide enough to use it and get like 2 out of it. I'm probably going to have a bit of waste here, but I don't need very many pages in this. It's not going to be a novel. It's just, what have I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So that's going to be 8 pages in the book, 16 sides, which is lots. So I'm going to just trace around it. And then I'm going to cut in about that much again. Make it a little smaller so that none of the pages are sticking out past the cover. So I'm not worried about my lines showing, because I'm not going to cut on the line. I'm going to cut just inside the line. And really I could fold this in half and cut it. In fact, I might do that. So This would be my fold line here. And again, I'm not worried about that being seen because that's going to be in the middle of the book, and I'll just use the other, put that to the back and use the other side. I should be able to cut 8 pages at once here. These are good strong scissors. So that obviously has to stay as it is, but I can go just inside the line here. And here. And here. And if you're worried about holding it, just clamp it with a bulldog clip or something. The other thing I could have done is tear the paper. I do a lot of that. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Or use the ripple scissors as well. So if this still is too big, I might go back with the ripple scissors, but I think it's going to be good. Yeah, so it's, it could use a bit of trimming. Use a trim over here. Just a little bit. I don't think it needs enough of a trim for me to do the whole thing again with the ripples. I'll just do this. I think that'll fit better. Just don't want it sticking out past the cover. And I do want to ink the edges of these pages because it's dyed, it looks, I don't know, it just looks kind of like it just ends and it needs to continue to be more, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Just look more naturally aged. And putting the age around the edges really does make a difference, especially something that's trying to look old. I don't need to do that edge. And then I do want to do both sides, but what I'll do is I'll go around and then I'll turn it inside out. And do the other side of the pages. This is the polka dotted paper, which I think is really cool. Just have a baking pan that has holes in it. And so I put the paper on it and put it in the oven. And it comes out with that pattern on it. It's lighter on one side. It's pretty neat. This one has a nice natural looking pattern to it. And this one's really light. And that'll be the center. I might put a doily in the middle. I like to do that. It's a little delicate, but it's a nice little surprise when you get to the middle of the book. Just easier to ink with more paper behind you. That's why I folded it backwards. And this is something that I can do in front of the TV if I prep a bunch of the covers and then prep a bunch of the pages for them. I can do this inking while I'm watching TV. and even do the binding. I don't have to think too much to do the binding, especially after I've done a couple of a certain size. So I just might do that, get some of it ready for tonight. Now I can see my pencil line there. Actually, I think I'm going to try erasing it because I don't want to have to trim it again. Yeah, it erases pretty good, and then once I ink it, I'm surprised to see it. It's cutting quite a ways in from the line. Cute little pages. That was the outside. So ink that edge. I would say this side isn't done. I didn't keep track very well. If it doesn't look like it needs it, it doesn't look like it needs it. It does. And probably if you just inked the front pages, it would be fine, but I want this book to continue to be special all the way through it. Yeah, we're back to the beginning. Okay, so see if the doily fits. I think it will. I have some pre-inked. Oh no, it won't work because it's going to show. It would have to be really small, or yeah, that won't work unless I do something like that. But I don't think that's not what I had in mind at all. Never mind. I can't think of anything else that I could use in there. So I'll just sew it. Doesn't have to have anything. I don't want it to be bulky, so I can't get too creative. So now I've got this kind of ready to sew. I grabbed this little template from before, but it's too big. So I'll just show you how to do a template. All you need to do for your sewing in your spine template is cut a piece of paper that's the same width as your spine, same about 1.5 inches wide or so, and then the same width as your spine on your book. Fold it in half lengthways. I'm going to do 3 holes, even though it's really small. It could probably get away with 2, but I'll do 3 just to show you the procedure. So then you fold it in half the other way. That gives you your location for your center hole. And then in this case, I'm going to fold it in maybe 3/8 of an inch for the location of my end holes. And then you open that out. And what I usually do is mark those spots that the folds intersect, because I can't see them very well. I figure it'll help you too to see them. And then you're going to clamp. I can do both the cover and the pages all at once, just with the help of some clamps holding it in place. This, I don't know, is it upside down maybe? It doesn't seem to fit as well. There, maybe that's better. It's not perfect by any means. I'm going to hold that in place. And another one. Something really imperfect here. There, that's better. Okay. I'm going to poke right through. At least I think I am. Pokey tool. There it is. Just poke right through the pages and the cover. You want to come through right on the edge of that crease. The last couple times I've done this, I've sewn right through my template, so don't let me do that this time. Template goes away. I have a pre-threaded needle, which just happened to have some beige cord yarn with silver threads through it, so I'm going to use that. And I think I'm going to have the knot on the inside of the book, so I'm going to go from the inside out, leaving a little bit of a tail to tie with. And if you're worried about pulling it through, just catch it with your clamp. And then come back in either the top or the bottom hole. It doesn't matter which one. Come in from outside. See how that lines up nicely along the spine. And then go all the way down to the other hole at the other end. And come back out. And then come back in that center hole. Again, the very same hole, but come up on the other side of the center string. And then you'll tie that knot, the two ends, tie a knot that sort of goes around that center string. And I usually just do a double knot. And then in this case, I think I will do a little bow. I have enough string left over to do a little bow. And it's not going to be terribly bulky. This is very lightweight yarn. So just do like that, and then I'll pull these so it's not so big, and then tighten it again. And then once it's kind of the size you want, then I'll tie another knot. And that should maintain the bow. You can also put a tiny little touch of glue if you want to. I'm finding it hard because my fingers are covered in glue. There. If you have more room, you can add charms and stuff, but I don't think I will on this one. Believe in the magic of Christmas, and I think maybe some snowflakes would solve the problem, wouldn't they? I've got these snowflakes, and there's some of them on the bag, so that works. I don't just want one snowflake though. I wouldn't mind if those stuck off the card. I'll do 3. I think that's going to be lovely. Always pick that up, and it's meant to be staying down on the table. Okay. So this will camouflage that hole from the original gift tag ribbon. And it's also going to give it just a little touch of silver. That is going to be just off the edge. So I could put the smaller one there. Put this one over here. This one's a bit smaller, so it might not hang over. But still cover the hole. It did. Not that there's anything wrong with it hanging over. It wouldn't be the end of the world because it's at the top. But there. Not exactly symmetrical, but it's okay. So I'm happy with that little booklet. And let's see, I'll sign it. I usually do them either on the back at the bottom, maybe along the spine. And then see how it looks in its pocket. We've made this book to fit in this pocket. And I like the way it can sit like that. Partially covers this, but it fits in there nicely. Adds a little bit of extra snowflakes, a little bit of silver for red foil. And then I love the way that these stars turned out, the starry sky above the houses, above the little town. So that's fun. And the back side of the bag didn't really need decorating. So unless I decide to, for the person that's getting the gift in, it might require some extra themed decorations, but this is good for now. And then I can write a little note in the front of the book, or clip a little note in the front of the book so that it's an untouched book for them to use, or actually put another card in with it. So I'm really happy with that. I hope you've enjoyed seeing me create this little mini booklet from a gift tag from the Dollarama. And if you've stayed till the end, you're my absolute favorite. Thank you very much. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Most of all, have a great day, and thanks for watching.